Today, I'd like to address a question that sparks a lot of debate, concern, and misunderstanding. Is autism an epidemic? At first glance, it might seem like the answer is an easy yes. Over the past few decades, the number of autism diagnoses has risen dramatically. In the 1900s, autism was estimated to affect 1 in 2,500 children. Today, the CDC has reported that 1 in about 36 children in the U.S. are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. So, what's happening? Is autism truly spreading like a disease, or is something deeper going on? In the world, epidemic, the medical world, usually refers to the rapid spread of an infectious disease among a large number of people. Autism, however, is not an infectious disease. You can't catch it like the flu. It's a neurodevelopmental condition, which means it affects how a person's brain grows and processes information. The rise in autism diagnoses isn't necessarily because more people have autism now than before, but we've gotten better psychological doctors and we've become much better at recognizing it. It's not a disease or anything wrong with that person, but rather just a different way of thinking and understanding things that we don't really understand sometimes. Decades ago, many people on the autism spectrum just simply went undiagnosed or were misdiagnosed with other conditions, and they just had to brush it off as having personality quirks. The definition of autism has expanded to include a wider range of behaviors and challenges, including what we call high-functioning autism, more commonly known as Asperger's. It's no longer considered a separate diagnosis. Doctors, teachers, and parents are more aware, screening tools have improved, and there's a lot less stigma about seeking a diagnosis and seeing somebody who could ultimately help you be more understood. All of this leads to people being identified, not necessarily more people being affected. But why does this language epidemic matter so much? Because words shape how we see people. Quote, "A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit." Proverbs 15:4. This scripture tells us that the words we let leave our mouths affect our thoughts. When autism is framed as a crisis or a tragedy, we risk marginalizing the very people we should be supporting with our words and our thoughts and our actions and our love. We risk focusing only on how to cure autism rather than how to understand, include, and accommodate autistic people. That's not to say autism doesn't come with challenges. For many individuals and families, it does, especially when support systems are lacking, like they were in past days. But those challenges don't mean autistic people are broken or less valuable in any way, shape, or form. Autism isn't a disease, it's a different way of life and experiencing and interacting with the world. So instead of asking, is it an epidemic? Maybe the question could be, what can we do to support autistic people in our communities? And what can we do to love them? And what better language can we use to embrace them and show them love and support? We can start by investing in early intervention and education programs, by promoting inclusive classrooms, by listening to autistic voices, because yes, autistic people do speak for themselves, and the lack of understanding is not their fault, rather ours. And perhaps most importantly, changing the narrative, not from fear, but from understanding. Let's stop using the language of panic and start using the language of progress. Because the truth is, autism is not an epidemic. It's part of the human experience. And when we work to embrace, understand, and love that, when we recognize the richness and diversity that autistic people bring to our world, we all benefit. Thank you.